Hey beauty bosses, my name is Faith and welcome to Faith Elizabeth Marketing, the place where licensed beauty professionals become empowered entrepreneurs through growth strategies and marketing tactics. Today we're going to be talking about the 4 different types of signature marketing styles in the beauty industry, what type of personality matches what type of style, as well as a strategy that goes with each of those styles, and we'll also be talking about how you can find out which style you are in the first place. But before we dive into it, if you are a licensed beauty professional looking to level up your digital marketing game, then be sure to subscribe and hit that little bell in the right corner so that you never miss out on free content on how to elevate your business, grow your socials, and boost your bookings. Okay, so first let's talk about why your marketing style even matters as a licensed beauty professional and how your personality reflects in your business and marketing efforts. So whenever you're creating marketing materials or marketing systems that, one, don't really represent who you are or what your business represents, but also doesn't really work with how your brain works, it can tend to feel disconnected at the customer level, but also disjointed to you as the business owner, which basically means it's a lot more difficult than it really has to be. This feeling of disconnection between your customers, you, and your marketing will probably leave you literally dreading any type of marketing that you have to do for your business. So it doesn't matter if it's traditional marketing, social media marketing, your website, it doesn't matter. You're probably just going to end up dreading it because it doesn't feel right and it feels like it's more effort than it's worth. And I think why so many people feel that disconnection and that dread of working on their marketing is because whenever you don't have a good style down or you can't identify what way of marketing strategy you should go with, it feels just like there's no productivity and you're keeping yourself busy and you're working really hard, but nothing's actually ever paying off. And that's a really frustrating feeling. Whereas if your marketing style really matches, one, you as a business owner, but also what your business truly represents, then it kind of just becomes an extension of your business. It's a lot like your right arm, it's just there. You don't really have to think about it. It just does what it needs to do. And that's why your marketing style is so important, is because you want your marketing strategy and your marketing structure to just feel like an extension of your business, not something that you're having to put an exorbitant amount of effort in all the time. Okay, so now let's dive into the different types of marketing styles in the beauty industry. And if you have not gotten the chance to find out what marketing style you are, go click the link, take the quiz, it's completely free, and then come back to this video. I'll put the link right in the description so it's super easy for you to find. Okay, so the first marketing style that we're gonna talk about in the beauty industry is the explorer. I really love explorers because they're super innovative and passionate, but they do so in a way that always keeps their options open. And when I say explorers are passionate, I feel like there's a multi-passionate level that explorers have. Explorers in particular really want to offer or sample or learn about all the different things that our industry offers. But because of that, explorers in particular have a really hard time, settling down or choosing a specialty to really focus on at the fear that they're gonna miss out on any new education, new trends, or really more money, Explorers really tend to have a wandering mind whenever it comes to the technical side of our industry. They always want to know what's new, what's good, what's gonna make the money, what should they add on to their spa or salon. That makes them a pretty good entrepreneur because they keep their mind very open-minded and they're always willing to bring on new things that are going to grow them fast. I admire explorers so much because they never keep themselves in a little tiny contained box. Their brain is always thinking way bigger, way better, and they really work to push themselves into that situation, that bigger box, that better box. What I love about the explorer is they really go for what they want and they are really authentic about what they want and who they are the entire time in every single aspect of their business. The authenticity of the explorer is what really drives it home for this particular marketing style because the mixture of chill-free spirit and individualistic go-getter, it's just such a cool cocktail in the beauty industry, and we love to see it. The key strategy that I have for the Explorer marketing type is just because you're able to see the potential around your business does not mean that you get to wing it based off what your mind says. You need an actionable game plan of your business that you have set with clear intentions of growth. Explorers do know where they're headed and they have those big dreams, so they tend to just go for it and wing it because those growth strategies, writing down those in-between steps feels uncomfortable because they feel like they're boxing themselves in. But actually, that's a very important step to growing your marketing, growing your entire business further. So my biggest strategy for the Explorer is write down your intentions, write down your biggest dreams and the actionable steps that it's going to take you to get there. Okay, so the next signature marketing style for the beauty industry is the Sage. And I really relate to the Sage because that was exactly who I was whenever I first started in the beauty industry and as a business owner. I have since kind of adjusted to a different style, but this was really who I was for a really long time. And that also goes to show that your style can always change. You're a constantly evolving human and entrepreneur, so no style is set in stone and you can always change or be a combination of two. And as I get into the Sage, I feel like pretty much everyone watching this video in the industry will be like, oh yeah, I know someone exactly like that. And I love that so much because Sages are such an important vital person to have in our industry. So the Sage is super logical and enjoys the methodology within the technical side of the beauty industry. This tends to transition over into the business side as well, but in the technical side in particular, a lot of people will be able to see that logical, fact-based thinking from like an outsider's perspective. The Sage is not only about being, a teacher to their clients and other people in their industry, but also about being a true student to their craft. The Sage is the person that you go to whenever your service went south, and there's probably only one person that can tell you what to do or help you out, get that service turned back around, and it is the Sage. Every time they know exactly what to do whenever something just didn't go well. Because Sages are so well researched, it makes it really easy for them to become the industry expert. However, Sages tend to struggle to know when enough information is enough, when enough knowledge is enough, and that usually stems from some form of perfectionism or imposter syndrome in the business side. They just feel like there's so much more out there to learn about both their industry and their specialization, but also the business side of the beauty industry. This is particularly reflected a lot in the business side of our industry because Sages like to be good at something. They like to be really taught step by step on exactly how to do it and then be really good at it the first time. And so since business is not necessarily taught in cosmetology and esthetician school, there's a lot of trial and error that comes with the business side of our industry. So Sages are much more reluctant and hesitant to move forward with a business prospect or aspect of their business because they want to make sure that they do it correct the first time. Because oftentimes in the Sage's mind, the longer that they take to research something, the higher the chance of them doing it right the first time. And that's like the ultimate peak moment of basically doing something right the first time for a Sage or within the first few tries. A key marketing strategy that I have for Sages in particular is going in on a community-led initiative. So this doesn't necessarily mean that it has to be within your community, like your city or town, but it can also be like an online community within your skincare community or, anything like that. The reason why literal marketing campaigns or community initiatives work so well for the Sage is because you can talk to someone as the industry expert because you know so much about your particular specialization or your niche. An example of a community-led initiative that is pretty successful is, going to the town marathon and passing out sunscreen samples. Things like that. Since you're so information-based, you can connect with potential clients through information as opposed to starting with small talk because you're really best at giving a bunch of research and a bunch of information and educating people on the importance of, your section of the beauty industry and why it's necessary. Let me know in the comment section if you've ever been a part of a community-led initiative. Even if your marketing style isn't a Sage, I think that they're so fun and there's so many different ways to go about them. So let me know down below because I'm so curious to hear all of your different community initiatives and marketing campaigns. Okay, so moving to the third marketing style, and that marketing style is the Muse. The Muse is such a fun style and by far the most creative out of all of the marketing styles. The Muse is all about harnessing your inner creativity and infusing it in literally every aspect of your business. Muses tend to be the most personable and collaborative, so they tend to manage a team very well. The only thing that can kind of get in their way is if their advice ever feels unwanted or misinterpreted. That's like soul crushing to the Muse, is whenever something they did wasn't understood correctly or it wasn't given the reaction that they think it should have. So that's a really common one with social media, because Muses will put out this amazing graphic design that they made, that they spent hours on, and they put it out there, and then there's crickets and their soul literally hurts. And I can say that because I've been there. But what's so great about Muses is that they really stick with their core passion in the industry, and they really stick with their business. They're not super flighty about that. As long as the business produces joy and happiness for them, they will continue to put in that effort, always. The Muse marketing style just really wants the very best for their business, and they want it to be represented correctly so that everyone knows who they're talking to, what they're getting into as soon as they book, as soon as they hear about you. The Muse really wants their entire audience, all of their potential customers, to know the intention behind their business. But because the Muse is so creative, they tend to put all of their efforts, especially their marketing efforts, into the pretty colors and the logo and the branding, and there's nothing wrong with that. But a key strategy that I do have for the Muse is getting a very structured business plan, because most of the time the Muses just tend to also wing it, but not even like the explorers where they're winging their growth strategies. Muses tend to really just overlook their entire business plan as a structure and just go for it. Muses in particular put their creativity first, and since they're putting their creativity first, it just naturally detracts from any type of pure structure that their business has. And that's just due to their natural instincts and dreamer tendencies. By creating a written structure of your entire business and the different aspects, so marketing, finance, all of those things, making them very clear and actionable will help push your business past the plateaus of every type of like entrepreneurial life cycle. You know, we all go through those plateaus. It will help push you past that and really ignite your passion for your business, because sometimes creativity will start to feel like it's running dry whenever you're not seeing the return. If you're feeling like people aren't interpreting what you're saying and it's just not working, and you're feeling like there's no traction, your business plan will return you back to the center so that you can start using your creative juices to push your business further into growth. Because for a Muse, if you feel like you can't use your creativity, then there's no purpose of having the business. So having that structure will really help you spend more time on your creativity, because you'll have a better direction of how to use it and where it should go. So now we're to the fourth and last but not least marketing style of the beauty industry, and that is the planner. The planner is a natural strategist and enjoys the practicality of their business, and they don't really obsess over like the fluff too much. And if they ever do want the extras, they tend to just pay someone to do it for them, because their time is the most precious to them and they don't want to spend it by doing something that they don't view as practical or necessary. Planners take their dreams, their big dreams, and they quickly put them into goals. People don't tend to think of planners as dreamers. They more think of them as achievement or goal oriented, because the planner is going to take their big dream and put it into goals naturally without necessarily having anyone prompt them to do that. That's just their natural instinct, is to literally set their big dream up into actionable steps. So from the outside looking in, the planner is always hyper organized and has everything put together, but that hyper organization can actually stunt their growth, because they will tend to feel like they're not ready to move to the next step unless everything is mapped out perfectly. They're a bit like sages in the fact that they want everything to be perfect before they move on. So they have some perfectionist tendencies. And if something isn't perfect to the planner, they will literally use that to stunt their growth in their business so that they can focus in on on that until it's absolutely exactly how they imagined it in their brain. And whenever they wrote it out on paper, they want to make sure that whatever area that is, it has to be exactly what they thought it would be before moving on. Planners are big on huge goals, but baby action steps tend to be a little bit better for them, because sometimes whenever planners get really carried away on those goals, they tend to get overwhelmed by all the moving parts, whereas the baby action steps can really break down the goal for them and make it a little bit easier for them to really reach it in a short and effective amount of time. And I feel like that overwhelmed feeling is common for pretty much everyone, but planners in particular really feel it whenever, you know, their entire goal is moving in different areas and they're not really sure which one to focus on. But what I love about planners is that they have the truest sense of vision of what they want, not only in their life, but also their business. And I feel like that's such an underrated entrepreneurial trait that they just naturally possess and just don't really have to work on it. So a key marketing strategy that I have for the planner is to play into the transformational aspect of your business. Planners, again, super goal oriented, so play into that in your marketing efforts, meaning show how you're transforming yourself as a business owner, but also your customers through your services. I challenge you to go further than the before and afters that we all see on everyone's social media pages and actually get testimonials of how you have changed your client for the better. Your audience will really feel that authenticity coming from you as opposed to any of the other marketing styles, because you really joined this industry because you're passionate about it and you want to impact other people's lives. And I know that's true because you're a planner, and if you were not passionate about this, you would have a 2-year exit strategy on how to leave this industry and go follow the real thing that you're passionate about. Okay, so in this video, we talked about what the 4 signature marketing styles are, a key strategy behind each of them, and what makes them unique to the beauty industry. If you haven't found out what your signature marketing style is in the beauty industry, go find out, because that's going to make this entire video and the strategies behind this video more relevant to you, and you'll be able to implement them sooner rather than later. I put the link to find your signature marketing style in the description, so be sure to click that, take the quiz, and find out which one you are, and then come here and comment on it because I would love to know. If you like this video, please be sure to subscribe and then hit that little bell in the right corner so that you'll be one of the first to know about my new video coming in next Friday. All right, guys, see you next time. Bye!